Hi, I'm Tim from Heaven Help Us Studios. I'm so glad you're here with us today. If this is your first time tuning in with us, we would like to give you a special welcome. You could have picked any church's videos, but we're so glad you chose ours. We thank you for that.
This Lenten season, we've prepared a special series of devotional videos that we really pray will serve to encourage and inspire you to dig deeper into God's Word and grow deeper in your relationship with Him. Our prayer is that whether you're a seasoned follower of Jesus Christ, new to the faith, or trying to find your way back to the faith, our prayer is that you'll find something in these videos that will help you along that journey. We here at Trinity are here for you, and we look forward to being on this journey with you. God bless. Hey everyone, welcome back to our Lenten devotional series. Today we pick up where we left off. Last week we looked at the story of the two disciples who were walking with Jesus, talking with Jesus, but verse 16 tells us they were kept from recognizing Jesus. And Jesus jumps into this conversation in verse 17. Here's what he says. He says, "What are you discussing so intently as you walk along?" They stopped short, sadness written across their faces. One of them says to Jesus, "You must be the only person in Jerusalem who hasn't heard about all the things that have happened here in the last few days." In other words, what's wrong with you, man? I mean, seriously, where have you been for the last week? Don't you read the Jerusalem Gazette? You must be the only person in Jerusalem who hasn't heard about all the things that have happened here the last few days. Then verse 19, Jesus says, and I think he said this with a grin on his face, he says, "What things?" "The things that happened to Jesus, the man from Nazareth," they said. "He was a prophet who did powerful miracles, and he was a mighty teacher in the eyes of God and all the people." Then in verse 20, they continue to talk to Jesus about Jesus. They say, "The chief priests and rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we had hoped." Ever been in a place where you had really hoped? We had hoped he was the Messiah who had come to rescue Israel. This all happened 3 days ago. We had hoped, but now it seems clear what we had hoped for is never going to happen. He was with them, but they didn't see him. He was risen from the dead, but they didn't recognize him. And our walk with God can be like that today. He's with us, but so often we don't see him. But have you ever noticed that in the present tense, in the present, amidst all the chaos and the struggle and the pain, it can be so hard to see God at work. He's there, he's working, but sometimes it's hard to see him in the present tense. But when you reflect back over your life, it's so much easier to see him. You can look back and go, wow, he was there the whole time. His hand always on me. He was working all things together for my good. He was with me even in my darkest hour, comforting me in my despair. I couldn't see it at the time. But as I reflect back, now I can see it. He was always with me. He is with me. Now here's my favorite part of our story. Check this out. As they're walking along, they get to Emmaus, and Jesus acts like he's going to keep on walking, but they're like, no, you're so awesome, you're amazing, please stay with us. And so he does. He stays with them for a bit. And then in the middle of verse 29, here's what it says. So he went in to stay with them. When he was at the table with them, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. Now, Let me ask you this. Does that sound at all familiar? Do you recognize that phrase from anywhere else in the Bible? Jesus took bread, broke it, and gave it to them. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what it would have been like? You're sitting at the table with Jesus. He picks up the bread, gives thanks, and breaks it. And maybe when he breaks it, he says, "This is my body, broken for you." And suddenly, things start to make sense. Things start to click in place as you have like this mental flashback, and you think, yes, I was there. I was there at the cross, and I saw that. I saw his body beaten and battered for me. Then I can imagine him picking up a cup and giving it to his disciples, and maybe saying, "This is my blood shed for the forgiveness of sins." And then more flashbacks. Yes, I was there. I saw it. I saw the blood pouring down. I saw a pool of blood at the foot of the cross. It was his blood that he shed for me. And imagine as all this is going through their minds, these guys remember, wait, didn't Jesus say he had to die, but that he would rise again? Verse 31, it says, "Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he disappeared from their sight." He opens their eyes so they can understand. And just as everything starts to click together in their mind, poof, Jesus vanishes from their sight and he's gone. Can you imagine? Now maybe, just maybe, one of you are out there and you're thinking, so what? So what does this whole story mean to me personally? Well, here it is. It means you can be forgiven. It means you can be healed. You can have a fresh start in life. You can begin to experience the joy that comes from a genuine, authentic relationship with someone that loves you unconditionally. Someone who knows everything there is to possibly know about you, and he loves you anyway. And when you see it, really see it, it will change your life forever.
Thanks for watching our video. If you like our video, give it a thumbs up. Let us know what you liked or didn't like in the comments below. If you haven't already, click subscribe and turn on notifications so you know whenever we come out with a new video. All this actually helps our channel get out to more people. We hope our videos encourage or inspire you, and if it did, share it with a friend and hopefully they will be as well. Thanks again!